You watch Morning Live. Thank you for staying with us now. Femininity and what it means to be a woman will come under the spotlight in a new exhibition titled Undefined, in which a group of female artists will use to attempt to interpret their understanding of what these issues mean. The participating artists, amongst others, are Alexia Cocolas, Minien Hattingh, Stefanie Langenhoven, Laetitia Lups, Shenaz, Mahomed, and Alison. Now, the exhibition has just returned from the D of Contemporary in Cape Town and will open at the Priest Espressobar in Rosebank on the 28th and will run until the 18th of February. To tell us more about Undefined, we're joined by its curator, Neil Nivot. Neil, thank you very much for joining me.
Morning.
Maybe let's talk about this title Undefined and this idea of creating a dialogue, getting people to reflect.
Yes, well, it's a group of artists that we've worked with over the past couple of years, and it's all female artists that deal with the idea of being a woman. So what we thought in terms of the title Undefined is, how do you really define being a woman? And you can't. I mean, what are the stereotypes or and there's issues that women also deal with that. Yeah.
That's quite interesting for me, because you're working with a group of artists that you know, but the curator is a man. What influence did you have in that conversation, not necessarily in the artwork?
Yes. Well, I just realized while we were putting while I was conceptualizing the exhibition, is that these artists all deal with the same. There's a strand, not necessarily in the visually connection, but in the ideology, in the subject that they deal with. So very intuitively put the exhibition together.
Where were you, and what kind of made you, what was the inspiration behind wanting to explore what it means to be a woman?
What was the inspiration?
Yeah, because you conceptualized it. Why did you think that this was worth exploring?
Yeah, originally it was as a celebration of Women's Month. When it started at DF Contemporary in Cape Town, that was in October. So it was just after Women's Month, I believe. And then it moved to Pretoria at Free Contemporary, and now it's going to Priest, yeah.
So you conceptualize this idea, you then approach the artists, you then have this dialogue. And talk to me about how they then reflected on the kind of works that they included in this exhibition.
Well, they've... it's each individual artist, they have their own take on on how they perceive, or not how they perceive, but how they experience reality as a woman, and also being an artist. Like Shenaz, Mahomed deals with it out of the perspective of being a Muslim artist, female Muslim artist. Stefanie is a photographer, and she deals with the concept of being put into, slotted into a certain idea of how it is to be perceived, the stereotypes that you have to fit in as a woman, how you must look or how you must dress, and those types of issues. Yeah.
So it's not really about just getting women to talk about these things, but it's also for men to reflect on it. What has the reaction been from men who've seen the exhibition?
Yes, well, very positive so far, I think. In general, it's been a positive experience, and also an opening thing for myself as well, I think, out of my perspective. But yes, I think people can realize or can look into that world.
So it's just to share those dates again. It's running at the Priest Espressobar in Rosebank.
Yes, from the 28th of January to the 18th of February.
Neil, if people want more details, where can they go?
They can go to www.deadbunnysociety.com.
Neil Niveau, thank you very much for joining us. It's the curator of the new exhibition titled Undefined, featuring the works of various artists. And just to give you an idea, it's running, it was in Cape Town, it's now here in Johannesburg. We'll feature in Rosebank, as Neil was saying. It will run from the 28th until the 18th of February, so it's definitely worth a visit. And who knows, it'll spark a conversation. Let's take an ad break again.